Hello there and welcome back to my channel today. So we may or may not have a roast video on our hands. Like we may be roasting, we may not be roasting. It's kind of like, you know, are you going to have your potatoes roasted or are you going to bake them? Like these are all like very important things. But the reason why I say we may have a roasting video is because we are going to be trying out the witch palette. I got this from AliExpress. It is the most expensive, not just eyeshadow palette, but the most expensive thing I think that I've ever purchased on AliExpress. This cost me £11. And I know, especially if you don't shop on AliExpress, you may think, £11? Well, I don't think that's that expensive. But if you shop on AliExpress a lot, you can probably relate. £11. That's like buying I'm trying to think of any expensive brands, but they like all of the expensive brands. Dior. Okay, Dior. Tom Ford. This is like the Tom Ford of the AliExpress world. So when I spotted this palette on AliExpress, I was instantly sold. I was literally just like throwing, you know, pound coins at my phone because this, it just jumped out to me so much. I still think the packaging is exquisite. It looks so good. I mean, I'm really into this whole theme. The actual look of the palette itself. Oh, hello there. Oh, we have a little guest. A guest visit today from Alex. So Alex, what do you think of this palette? Are we liking the look of it?
I'm not.
What? You're not liking the look of it? Well, why not?
Because look at my shoes.
Oh, well, I mean, yes, your shoes are actually, they're very, very nice. But Mummy today is going to be testing out this eyeshadow palette. Yes?
Can I have some of this? Like it.
It's an energy drink, nobody.
I like an energy drink.
Do you need any more energy though today?
Yeah. Energy.
Do you know what energy is?
No.
If you had to guess, what would you say?
Energy. Energy.
You could have a tiny bit. Okay, this is.
I like energy.
Well, Alex, I love energy. Just Mummy doesn't have a lot of energy these days, which is why she has to drink the energy drinks.
Nice.
Very good. Do you know what? Honeys was shouting downstairs, Alex, Alex. And you know what it really reminded me of? Have you ever seen that? It's on YouTube, but it was like a politician man. I don't know who he is because politics just bores me. But there's a politician man and he's sat like in his office doing like a live interview with like a news station, and then his little girl comes in the room, closely followed by a baby in one of those, you know, the baby walkers. And then I think it's either his wife or his nanny comes running in, like freaking out, like, ah! And she like drags the kids out, and it's hilarious. It's so funny because it's live. Anyway, if you've not seen that, definitely check it out. It's so funny. Okay, so this is what the palette looks like inside. I think that when you look at it from like back here, it looks really, really interesting. And in the photos on AliExpress, it looked really, really unique and beautiful. But then when it turned up and I got the opportunity to actually look at it, I was deeply, deeply disappointed. I was going to say traumatized. Like, traumatized is what came into my head. And I just feel like, oh my gosh, could I be any more undermining of people that have actually gone through traumatic situations? I mean, really, guys. I have gone back and looked at the pictures on AliExpress since meeting with the palette in person. Actually, when I look closely, I kind of think that, you know, I just didn't see it was so shit. I think I just got carried away, like, with the packaging. I was just thinking, yes, bitch, yes, it's a witch, and it just looks really well done. And I didn't really like pay attention. So, like, in a way, I kind of hold my hands up at this feck up, seriously. But so basically within this palette you've got 4 rows. 2 of the rows are pressed glitters and the other 2 appear to be baked eyeshadows. I'm a huge fan of baked eyeshadow formulas in general, but there's just something about these that it looks cheap. It is what happens. It looks cheap. So today we're going to be trying out the palette. I am going to be giving it the best possible go that I can give it, because you know I spent 11 of my hard-earned pounds on this. So like, even though I think it's going to be terrible, I'm kind of rooting for it in a way. Like, I want it to surprise me. I'm like, come on bitch, surprise me. So I mean, also as well, just before like I begin, I just want to say that I think one of the reasons why I feel like this palette isn't necessarily fantastic is because you've got the glitters, you've got the baked eyeshadow. Like, where are my mattes? Like, where are they? Like, where? Like, I cannot see them anywhere. So like, how do I get my fucking transition? And you know, in a palette of this size, I expect to have everything within this palette that I need to create a bomb diggity wholesome blow your pants off eye look. I don't know where to begin. Like, I do not know where to begin right now. It's just like, what the heck? Like, what? My hair's pissing me off as well, but there's nothing new there, so that's great. Okay, so to begin today, I am going to dip my finger into this shade right here. It looks to be like a pearly kind of white shade, and it's got little like speckles of purple. I mean, it actually looks quite pretty. It's kind of like an off-white kind of look. So I'm just going to use my fingers and I'm just going to like pop this all over the lid. Oh my gosh, I like it. Oh my gosh, I really like it. It's got a really pretty kind of sheen to it. It's what I would describe as heavenly. Like, I think it looks really good. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going to maybe eat my words. Like, I also feel like this would be a really beautiful kind of all over setting powder, because I think it would like veil your face in the most angelic, pretty, heavenly, kind of thing. So, oh my gosh, guys, I'm liking it. Can you see? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm going to put more on because I'm loving it right now. Okay, so I've kind of put that just on the like first half of my lid. So now it looks really nice on my finger as well. Look at that. Oh my gosh. So next I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is like a cornflower blue. I don't know if I've just totally made up that name, cornflower blue, but I feel like I've heard it somewhere, so I'm just going to go with it. This palette does feature a smell which I'm not loving right now. Okay, so this shade looks like an off-white with a hint of cornflower blue. Don't question it, guys. Don't Google it. Just accept it. It's fucking cornflower blue. This eyeshadow is a little bit chunkier than the last. I'm just going to tap my finger off because that's what we need to do when we insist on not using brushes and being professionals. So I'm just going to like pop this on. I think it's really complimenting my hair right now. So, okay, so next I am actually going to go in with this really interesting, it's almost like a grey shade. So I'm going to go in with this one next. This is what she looks like. And I'm just going to like pop that like on the outer vagina. I mean, these are definitely not like very pigmented, but what they lack in pigmentation, they make up for in angelic, simplistic beauty. I actually really like the look and feel of them. They feel just very soft and buttery, but I just think they've got really beautiful kind of refined, you know, not too much, just a refined kind of glow to them. I feel like you could even use these as highlighters, which I'm going to definitely be trying shortly. But like, I really like that look, and I don't actually feel like you necessarily would need a transition, you know, when you've got this level of just whimsical, angelic simplicity going on. So next I'm going to go into the pink. I just feel like I'm applying everything right now because I'm feeling it. So I've gone into that, the pink shade. I'm just kind of popping that on. That looks really, really pretty. I don't like it as much as I like the first shade though. So I'm going to go back into the first shade and I'm going to pop that on over the top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, do the other eye, and I'll be back. Okay, so I am actually really, really liking this look. I know it's the most simplistic thing in the world, but I feel like, you know, sometimes they're the best. The best. I never feel like they're the best. I like extravagance generally. However, although for the moment, I'm kind of liking this, I just feel like it's kind of a bit limiting, this palette, because I don't know if she's worth £11, is like what I'm saying. I feel like it would only be fair to go in with a little bit of the glitter. And do you know what? I've got some absolutely gorgeous glitter eyes, or they're now Sparkle Fantasy Cosmetic glitters in my drawer, and they're gorgeous. But I obviously have to try these ones today. Sorry, how much of a whiny bitch do I sound right now? But seriously, guys. But before I go in with the glitter on the lid, I am just going to see how this very first shade that we used, how that would work as a highlight. I mean, I can't really see her. Oh, I feel like I just want to create like a really, you know, really like just pretty princess look today. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Right, let's just spritz a little bit of setting spray, because I would just want to see what we can actually do with this as a highlighter. So I mean, it looks actually really, really pretty. It's got a very subtle, but you can definitely see it kind of glow. And I'm really liking it. I think I kind of prefer this baked formula more as a highlight than I do an eyeshadow right now. Okay, so guys, we're going to apply a little bit of glitter. Oh gosh, like I don't really want to, because I'm just loving the simplicity of this. Oh my gosh, like how many times could I say simplicity? And before filming this video today, I don't think I've ever said the word simplicity before, like ever. So I am going to, I'm just going to feck everything up is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and apply some of this glitter right here, here. I need glitter glue. I'm going to use this glitter fix liquid from Glitter Eyes, who are now Sparkle Fantasy Cosmetics. So I'm going to use a little bit of this because this is my favourite glitter adhesive. Pop that on the inner vagina. Can't find my mirror. Oh, here she is. Do you know what? Whenever I can't find my mirror, she's always on my knee. That's, oh, look at my nose. Once again, I forget to actually foundation the tip of my nose. That's just the kind of girl I am. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this, like, okay, so, oh, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little gold star on my lid, and that did not come from the palette. That came, oh my gosh, in my head I wanted to say from my vagina. No, it didn't come from my vagina. I wish it did. Could you imagine if you had little cute gold stars just like flying out of your vagina? I mean, that would be great. But anyway, guys, and it looks really, really good. Living. I am living for this. I said surprise me. No, I didn't. I said this is going to be a roast. But I said I wanted to be surprised, and I am. Like, I'm surprised today. Do I think that, like, this palette is worth £11? No, it just depends really. Either all of the more kind of mainstream makeup brands, either they're just taking the piss and completely overcharging us all, which they probably are, or AliExpress are just hardly making any profit whatsoever. But I forgot my point. Like, what was my point? I don't know. It was a good point, I think. But it's gone. It's gone into the place where good points go to die. Okay, forget that, guys. I'm sure it was great. Probably not. Okay, so do you know what? I really, really like this palette. Like, at the end of the day, right? Value, the value of something is what you would pay for it. I suppose ultimately, like, I wouldn't want to pay like £1,000 for a handbag, but there's some people would, because it would bring them that much happiness. I would happily pay £3 for a unreasonably sized box of blackberries, but then Honeys thinks that that's just outrageous, because whenever I buy blackberries when we're in Tesco, he always tells me about a fucking blackberry tree he used to have in his garden and how it was free to just pick a blackberry. But like, I don't mind paying £3 because I like me some blackberries. Anyway, guys, like, I personally, I don't feel this palette is anything spectacular. Yes, I kind of like the glitter. I like the kind of baked eyeshadow look. But if I had the opportunity again, like, say if this palette was stolen from me. So say if like an elf came into my house, I said, give me that fucking palette, and then I gave him the fucking palette, I wouldn't care. Like, I just wouldn't give a shit. And I think really, like, that says to me that I don't like it. Like, I don't hate it, and I think it's fine, but it's a no from me. But I mean, it's not terrible, but I would say don't buy it. But I'm liking the look. I mean, I'm feeling like I like it. And I do think that the baked formulas work well as a highlight. That's what she'll say. Okay, so this is the look. I know she's gone very simple with this look today. And I feel like, I don't know, like, when you have such a large palette, the temptation is that you just want to go ham. You want to go ham. Go big or go home. Try every single shade in the palette. Start using other people's faces so that you can just try every single shade. But yeah, I feel like this look is so simplistic. I mean, I like it. It's not £11 like. It's kind of like a, you know, like 25p kind of like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back to let you know my final thoughts. But I think you may know already the final thoughts, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm going to tell you again. Okay, so I am back. I finished off the rest of my makeup, and although I actually, like, I really, like, I think the look is, like, really cute. I did a little bit of pink eyeliner really badly, of course. Like, don't look too closely at that, please. And if you do, please forgive me for it. I think it's a really cute kind of simplistic, I'm going to say it again, it's a really cute kind of simple look. But my overall kind of review of the palette is, if it costs £5, I would be a lot more forgiving, and I would be saying yes, I think it's actually really pretty. I mean, you don't get any matte formulas in here, but you know what it lacks in mattes, it definitely makes up for in glitters and baked eyeshadows. I think that the shades, definitely the ones that I tried, were really pretty. But do I think it's worth £11? No. And, you know, if I could get a refund, I definitely would. I'd probably just end up refunding, like, every single thing that I buy virtually. Could you imagine if you could just get a refund for, like, anything you didn't like? You could get a refund. All of a sudden, it would appear like I don't spend any money on cosmetics or skincare, because most things that I try, I definitely would refund. If you've had your eye on this palette, and like me, you were just a little bit kind of entranced by the beautiful aesthetic and packaging of this palette, I would definitely say that the eyeshadows within don't really, or for me, they've not really met my expectations. This, to me, it's not an £11 palette. Or what I should probably say is, it's not an £11 AliExpress palette, because I try not to compare AliExpress makeup with mainstream makeup, because I think they're kind of, you know, they're completely different. Apart from if it's, you know, you can be, I feel like their quality, you know, is on par with mainstream makeup 020, Focal Yours. For an AliExpress palette, this is not worth £11, is what I'm going to say. I am going to skedaddle away now. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I've really had so much fun filming it today, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Bye. Oh my gosh, how annoying could I be?